You lie down, you close your eyes. You tell yourself, just stop thinking for 1 second. You can't. A memory surfaces, then a worry, then a song you didn't ask to hear. Your brain keeps talking even when you beg it to be quiet. You assume this is just what a mind does, but the real answer is far stranger. Your brain isn't malfunctioning when it won't shut off. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. For most of human history, a quiet mind wasn't a peaceful mind. A quiet mind was a dead mind. Silence meant nothing was tracking the rustle in the grass. Silence meant no one was scanning the dark tree line for movement. The brain that stayed busy, scanning, predicting, replaying, was the brain that noticed the predator first. So your mind never learned how to rest. It learned how to never stop watching. In 2010, two Harvard psychologists, Matthew Killingsworth and Daniel Gilbert, decided to actually measure this. They built a simple phone app. It pinged people randomly throughout the day and asked one question: what are you thinking about right now? Across thousands of people and thousands of pings, the answer kept repeating. Nearly half the time, people weren't thinking about what they were doing. Their minds wandered nearly half of the time they were awake. Not occasionally, not during boring meetings, constantly. Whether they were working, eating, even having a conversation, their minds slipped away to somewhere else. That's not a glitch. That's the baseline setting. So, where does the mind go when it wanders? Neuroscientist Marcus Rachel at Washington University found the answer almost by accident. He was scanning brains, expecting to see activity drop when people stopped doing a task. Instead, he found a network of regions that lit up the moment the task ended. He called it the default mode network. It is the brain's resting state, and resting for your brain does not mean quiet. It means replaying, reconsidering, rehearsing conversations that haven't happened yet, worrying about ones that already did. You were never built to idle. You were built to simulate. Think about what that simulation actually does. It runs scenarios. What if I said the wrong thing at dinner? What if that email sounded cold? What if I lose my job next year? None of these are happening right now. Your body is safe. Your room is quiet. And still your mind treats imagined danger with the same urgency as a lion in the grass. Why would evolution build a brain that tortures itself with things that aren't real? Because for nearly all of human history, imagining the future kept you alive in it. The humans who pictured the drought before it came stored food early. The humans who imagined the rival tribe's next move prepared a defense. Mental simulation was a survival tool, rehearsed thousands of times a day, refined over hundreds of thousands of years. Your ancestors who didn't simulate threats simply didn't pass on their genes as often as the ones who did. You inherited a prediction machine, not a relaxation machine. Here's the twist almost nobody expects. The same Harvard study that proved your mind wanders nearly half the time also asked a second question: how happy are you right now? The study found that mind wandering predicted unhappiness, regardless of what people were thinking about. Even pleasant daydreams left people feeling worse than simply being present with whatever they were doing. The wandering itself, not the content, dragged mood down. So the very feature that kept your ancestors alive is the same feature that quietly drains you today. There's a deeper layer to this too. Psychologist Ethan Kross at the University of Michigan studies what he calls your inner voice, the constant narrator running inside your head. His research shows this voice doesn't just describe your life. It evaluates it. It judges your performance at work. It replays your mistakes in slow motion. It rehearses arguments you'll probably never have. Cross found that how you talk to yourself in that inner voice directly shapes your stress levels, your decision-making, even your physical health. You don't just have thoughts, you have a narrator who never clocks out. So why can't you turn the narrator off? Because turning it off was never the goal. Evolution didn't design an off switch, because an animal with an off switch is an animal that gets eaten while it's switched off. Predators don't wait for convenient timing, neither does your mind. It treats every silence as suspicious. It fills empty moments with something, anything, because an ancient part of your brain still believes emptiness is dangerous. Notice what happens the next time you sit in total silence with nothing to do. Within seconds, something rushes in to fill the space. A memory, a plan, a worry. That's not boredom. That's a 300,000-year-old alarm system checking if the coast is clear. Now look at your daily life through that lens. You scroll your phone the moment a line at the store gets quiet. You turn on a podcast just to walk the dog. You reach for noise before silence even has a chance to settle. You call this distraction. It's actually something older. It's discomfort with a mind that was never built to idle, finally meeting a world with almost no danger left to scan for. That's the strange part. The threat disappeared. The scanning didn't. Your ancestors needed constant vigilance to survive a world with very real teeth and claws in it. You inherited the vigilance, but the teeth and claws are mostly gone. So the machine keeps running with nothing to point it at. It turns inward instead. It starts scanning your reputation, your relationships, your future, your past, because those are the only threats left for it to chase. This is why a single awkward sentence from 3 years ago can resurface at 2 a.m. with the same intensity as a genuine emergency. Your prediction system doesn't fully distinguish between a saber tooth and a social mistake. Both get flagged, both get replayed, both keep you awake. So what do you do with a brain like this? You don't fight it into silence, because silence was never on the menu. Researchers studying meditation and mind wandering, including teams building on Rachel's default mode work, have found something useful instead. The goal isn't to stop the thoughts, it's to change your relationship to them. People who simply notice a thought without chasing it, who let it pass instead of investigating it, show calmer activity in that same default network. The wandering doesn't disappear, but the suffering attached to it does. You weren't designed to have an empty mind. You were designed to have a watchful one. The difference between anxiety and clarity often isn't the number of thoughts you have. It's whether you're being dragged by them or simply watching them pass. Picture your ancestor again, the one crouched at the edge of the firelight, mind racing through every possible danger in the dark. That racing mind kept them alive long enough to become your great-great-great-grandparent, thousands of generations removed. You carry their alarm system inside your skull right now, still running, still scanning, even though the fire is electric and the dark outside your window holds nothing but parked cars. Your mind isn't broken, it's just defending you from a world that no longer exists. So tonight, when you lie down and your thoughts refuse to stop, you'll know what's actually happening. It isn't insomnia. It isn't a personal failure. It's an ancient watchman at his post, still scanning the tree line, still listening for a rustle in the grass that hasn't come in 10,000 years. You close your eyes. You tell yourself, just stop thinking for 1 second. You finally understand why you can't.